हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा। Yes. Please say. Okay, to bring those chairs. Those are whichever easily available. Mataji, enough. It's not. Person was there. It's the controls make it little cooler. 15 कर दो, थोड़ा ठंडा करने का। अभी आए ना फास्ट।
तो क्या सम्मेलन हो रहा है प्रभु?
हिंदू सम्मेलन, यस, समथिंग हिंदू का। मॉर्निंग में था, यहाँ रखा।
Prabhuji, your voice is not clear.
Voice is not clear. I have not spoken anything.
I'm talking now. Now.
Now is it clear? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so let's start. Can somebody just push the door? Om Gyantimirandhasya Gyananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll recite chapter 3, first 30 verses. Please repeat after me. अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहम् आप्नुयात्. श्री भगवान उवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिना न कर्माणाम् अनारम्भान् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषाश्नुते न च सन्न्यासनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति. न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते हि अवशः कर्म सर्व प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य यासते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते. यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभते अर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियै कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसीदयेद कर्मणः. देवान् भावयतानेन यज्ञात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धन तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसंग समाचर सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एषो वो अस्त्वस्तकर्म कामधुक् एषो व अस्तु इष्टकामधुक् देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेय परम आवाप्यत इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविता ते दत्तान् प्रदायैभ्यो यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः यज्ञशिष्टाशिन सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषे भुजन्ते त्वे अघं पापा ये पच्यन्ति आत्मकारणात् अन्नात् भवति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवन्ति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विधि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्मम् नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम् नानुवर्तयति हव्यः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो मोघं पार्थ स जीवति यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मनि एव स सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो न कृतेनेह कश्चन चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चित् कर्तव्यपाश्रयः तस्मादसक्त सततम् कार्यकर्म समाचर असक्तो हि आचर कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुषः कर्मण्येव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसंग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठ तद्देव इतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानावाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि हि अहं न वर्तेयम् जातु कर्मणि अत्यन्द्रितः मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिव मे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहम् शङ्करस्य च कर्तास्याम् वहन्याम् इमा प्रजा सक्ता कर्मणि अविद्वांसो यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षुर्लोकसङ्ग्रहम् न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत् ज्ञानां कर्म संगिनाम् जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्त समाचरन् प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयो गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते प्रकृते गुणसम्मूढा सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु तान् कृत्स्नविदो मन्दान् कृष्ण विन्न विचालयेत् मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we are now in chapter number 3. Chapter 2 got over, wherein it was spoken mostly about Sankhya Yoga, difference between the body and the soul. After that, considering your duty as a Kshatriya, there is nothing better than fight. Na Shreyas Kshatriya Vidyate. There is nothing better than to fight for a Kshatriya. Because if you die, you win you go to Swargloka, and if you win, you get the Rajya. Then he spoke about what did he spoke about after that? What topic?
Buddhi Yoga.
Buddhi Yoga, yes. Tirtha Pragya was the last part. Before that, he spoke about Buddhi Yoga, or what is another term for Buddhi Yoga? Yeah. What is another term for Bhakti Yoga which can be interchanged?
Karma yoga.
Karma yoga. Which kind of karma yoga?
Nishkam
Nishkam.
karma.
In the Nishkam karma yoga, there is no desire for the
Fruits of the results.
fruits of the results. Yes. What if there is a desire for the fruits of the result? Then what it becomes?
Karma
Karma
yoga.
karma.
Sakam, Nishkam. Okay. Then after that, what did he speak? Which topic?
How he talks, how he speaks.
What is the topic about?
Sthit pragya.
Sthita pragya.
Stita
Sthita
Pragya. What is the connection between why he brought about Stita Pragya? What is the Stita Pragya?
Equipoised. Equipoised.
Equipoised, Stita Pragya. Equipoised, but equipoised what?
How we
In every
respond to
situation.
the different situations.
Equal in all situations.
Equal in all situation. Yes. Stita Pragya. So when we call Pragya, it has to do with the what?
Situation.
With intelligence. Right? Stita Pragya. Intelligence, wisdom. So Stita, one whose intelligence is steady. That is Stita Pragya. One whose intelligence is not steady, he has to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. So that he becomes steady. And then steady in what? In realization of Atma. Right? So somebody who has realized Atma, that means his intelligence is steady. Right? That's how Nishkam Karma Yoga, when it started, Krishna said that till now I have spoken to you about Sankhya Yoga, now hear about Buddhi Yoga. Then he tells benefits of that Nishkam Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. In this Abhikrama, there is no Nash. Little bit you do. And then Karma Bandhan Prahasyasi. Then he keeps on telling. And then he says at the end, you attain steadiness. Your mind will be fixed. And that's how he brings that Samadhi kind of situation. Then Arjuna says, oh, how do I know that person who is Sthita Pragya, Samadhistha? Huh? So then Krishna talks about the symptoms, how he controls his senses and how he uses his senses. That's how he spoke about this Sthita Pragya person whose intelligence is fixed on what? Atma. Seeing the Atma. Right? And because he's seeing the Atma, he will attain what? Not only seeing the Atma, also then he has to control the mind, focus on the Atma, and then Madarte. He says, na, devoted to me, that has to come into picture. Madarte, for whose sake? For Krishna's sake, that has to come into picture. And then such a person, he realizes his sthita, is focused, his Atma is steady in intelligence, his intelligence steady in an Atma. Isn't it? So now you see the progress that has happened from Nishkam Karma Yoga to Atma focused on intelligence focused on Atma, isn't it? So Arjuna gets confused that am I supposed to fight, use my intelligence in actions, or use my intelligence in focusing on Atma? Because at the end he spoke about intelligence focused on Atma. So to focus on Atma, then I will not have to get into my intelligence use into actions. And what kind of action is here? It is fighting, abominable. So he got confused. What am I supposed to say? There's only one thing, whether should I fight or not. Because in the verses, he spoke that there is nothing better than fighting. Verse 32 or 31. Yeah. Swadharma, 30 verse. Swadharma api chaveksha na vikampitum arasi. Dharmadhi yuddha shreya anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Dharmadhi yuddha. When somebody gets an opportunity for dharma yuddha, And for Kshatriya, there is nothing better than this. Right? That means fighting is good for you. No? And he also mentions elsewhere that Takta Uttista Bharata, get up and fight. Vigata Spruha. Give up lethargy and fight. So he uses in the middle such statement. But then at the end, if you see 48, 52, 50 verses, Siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga yuchyate. Samatvam, equipoised. Be equipoised. Samatvam yoga yuchyate. And then 50th verse, he says, Tasmad yoga yujyasya. Tasmad yoga yujyasya. So, strive for that yoga. Which yoga? See, he's thinking now, which yoga? Strive for that yoga. And then verse 52, when he says, Yadate moha kalilam buddhir vyati tarishyati. When your intelligence has passed out of dense forest of illusion, then you shall become indifferent. So then he's thinking, he's telling me intelligence focused on Atma, but also at times he's talking about the fighting. What am I supposed to do? So therefore he asks question in the chapter 3, starting with Arjuna uvacha jayasi chet karmanaste matta buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayashi keshava. Jayasi, that means if it is better, jayasi chet, if karmana ste, than intelligence. If you think jayasi chet karmana ste buddhir matta janardana. So better than karmana, action, if you think that buddhir is better, then tat kim karmani ghore. Kim, why into karmani? Which kind of karmani? Ghore karmani, abominable actions, that is fighting. Mam niyojayasi, niyojit karna, encouraging. Niyojit, mam niyojayasi Keshava. Oh Keshava, why then you are engaging me in that terrible action? If you think that better than action is working in buddhi yoga, intelligence, or applying that steady mind. So that's how he's asking question. Why do you want to engage me in that ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? Isn't it? So he's comparing that buddhi yoga with nishkam karma yoga. But here is nothing of nishkam karma yoga. He's just talking about that karma yoga as a fighting. Right? And that buddhi yoga, that everything is calling that intelligence, applying that intelligence, steady intelligence. So he's comparing that. So then he's telling in the second verse, Vyamishrineva vakyena buddhir mohayasi vame. Vyamishrineva. Mishra means mixture. So the mixture. So the two things he's telling, fight and not fight, both the things. So he's like kind of Vyamishrineva vakyena. So the sentences with a mixture of both. Buddhir mohaya eva. Eva means as if. Not really, but it looks like. But not in reality. So he says buddhir moha, mohit means bewildering. So my intelligence is bewildered by the two different kinds of statements that you have mentioned, mixed statement. So my buddhi, intelligence is mohit kardena. You are bewildering my intelligence, as if you are bewildering my intelligence. You are not here because Lord is doing good for everyone. He's good for the welfare of all the people. So he has no intention to bewilder the mind of the intelligence of the Arjuna. So Arjuna is telling, as if my intelligence, as if you are bewildering my intelligence by your equivocal words. Tad ekam, therefore, tad ekam, just ekam vada means please say, vada, nishchaya, nishchitya, for certain. Just tell me one thing. Yena, by which shreya aham apnuyan, by which I can get shreya, real benefit. Isn't it clear? My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Prabhupada writes, in the previous chapter, as a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained. such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of senses by intelligence, work without free to desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outlook on the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his question, is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all the student who seriously wants to understand the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. So here Prabhupada is telling that in the previous chapter, which is contents of Gita summarized, you see it has Gyan Yoga, which has body and the soul. It also has Karma Yoga, talking about performing action, Sakam Karma, performing action with a desire. Fight if you will get this, Sakam Karma. Then Nishkam Karma Yoga, without Sukha Dukha Samay Kritva, fight for the sake of fighting, without attachment to the reason. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachina. So, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then when one performs Nishkam Karma Yoga, what one gains by performing Nishkam Karma Yoga? Knowledge. One gets Jnana. And with that Jnana, he focuses on Atma. And for that, he has to control the senses. Right? And then use that senses in peeping towards the Atma. Right? At the same time, he also has to connect with the Lord, offer everything, the results to the Lord. Madarte. Isn't it? Krishna says. So that is Bhakti Yoga. Isn't it? So you see, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all are spoken in the second chapter, but not completely in detail. Right? So Arjuna is now posing the question so that a detailed thing will be spoken. So here starts now one by one. So first thing it will be what? Karma Yoga. Perform action. How? Let's see what this chapter talks about. So this chapter is named as what? Karma Yoga. How one should act. So let's see now what Krishna says. Because Arjuna is telling you told two things. One is focus, use intelligence on Atma, peep inside. And if I peep into inside, controlling senses and focus on Atma, then my active senses should not be disturbed in fighting. It should be absorbed in inside. So, and focusing on controlling the senses and all, focusing on Atma. But this thing, using my senses in fighting and all, Karma Yoga looks to be like different for me. So tell me one thing. Should I do that or should this? So now let's see what Krishna recommends. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokyasmin Dvidha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Samkhyana Karma Yogena Yogina. So Lord Krishna says, Loke Asmin Dvividha Nishtha. I have already explained that there are two classes of men. One who tries to realize the self. Jnana Yogena Sankhyana. One who tries to realize the self. And then some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation. That is Jnana Yoga. And other is by devotional service. Karma Yogena Yogina. So you see here Karma Yoga is devotional service. That is Buddhi Yoga. Right? In the last, Buddhi Yoga. Or one can say Nishkam, not Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga also. One can see it as a Nishkam Karma Yoga also. So in the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explains two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Esham te abhita Sankhya Buddhi Yogam tum imam shunu. Right? So Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga or analytical study of the nature of the spirit and matter is the subject matter for a person who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. So see here Prabhupada is telling Sankhya Yoga or analytical study of the nature of the spirit and the matter is subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained also in the 39th verse that by working by the principle of Bhagavad Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bond of action, and furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. What is that 61st verse? Tas Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matpara. Tani sarvani sanyamya. So what is to be controlled? Senses. And yukta asita matpara. And apply that senses on whom? Krishna. Matpara. Vashehi yasya indriyani. When those senses are controlled, tasya prajna pratisthita. Correct? That this Buddhi Yoga is to depend entirely on Supreme, or more specifically on Krishna. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent and as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while the philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in real relation to super self. The indirect process is philosophical speculation by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness, and the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two paths, the Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the senses by philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of the devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. So Krishna here is telling there are two processes which has been explained. One is by Sankhya Yoga and another is by Buddhi Yoga. Sankhya Yoga, one speculates about the things and then at the end may come to Krishna consciousness. But in second process, which is the direct process, one takes up to the Krishna consciousness, even if one's senses are not controlled, but by the process of Krishna consciousness, everything becomes perfect. Verse 4, na karmanam anarambhan नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुष अश्नुते न च सन्न्यासनादेव सिद्धिं समाधिगच्छति न च कर्माणाम् अनारम्भ. Not by merely abstaining from the work. Naishkarmyam purusham ashnute. Can one achieve freedom from the reaction? Nacha sannyasanad eva. Nor by renunciation alone. Siddhim samadhi gacchati. Can one attain perfection? So, na karmanam anarambha means without the performance of the prescribed karma. Na karmanam anarambha. Arambha nahi kiya. Without doing arambha of what? Karmanam, prescribed duties. Naishkarmyam, purusha ashnute. A person cannot attain the non-action of the senses. One cannot achieve the freedom from the reaction. So naishkarmyam means the freedom from the reaction. And then nacha sannyasanad eva. Just by renunciation, renouncing the activities, not performing the activities. Siddhim samadhi gacchati, liberation cannot be achieved. Just if somebody says that, okay, I now give up everything. Only sannyas means giving up working, prescribed duties. One cannot attain what? Liberation. But we hear generally by renunciation, people achieve Lord, isn't it? In fact, other prescribed duties are given. Why? Because people in general does not have that renunciation. If you see normally people, they don't have that renunciation. Therefore, Krishna has created what? Varnashram. So that people can slowly develop. But in general, people does not have that renunciation for what?
Self-realization.
For the self-realization. Self-realization is a goal which needs some kind of
Process.
sannyas, some kind of a detachment, right? So, if somebody who does not have got self-realization or does not have a taste for self-realization, suddenly he just leaves, then person will not be purified. It's not purified. And only taking sannyas and not acting also does not guarantee liberation. That's what it is saying. Nacha sannyasana. So what kind of sannyasana? Without being purified, without having attachment to the Lord, simply leaving everything. Isn't it? It does not guarantee what? Liberation. Nacha sannyasana siddhim samadhi gacchati. And first line is telling about na karmanam anarambha. If one does not start working only, doing his prescribed duty, whatever is given for that person, if one does not perform that, then what? Naishkarmyam, freedom from reaction. One cannot attain. Isn't it? So Prabhupada here, he says that the renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge of prescribed form of duties which are laid down just to purify the hearts of the materialistic man. People many times ask, आपने सब छोड़ दिया, आपने संन्यास ले लिया. Then what should I reply? I said, नहीं, हमने संन्यास नहीं लिया. तो फिर ये ड्रेस, ये ड्रेस सन्यासी का नहीं है, it is of brahmachari. So then they get confused. What is that brahmachari or sannyasi? Because for them it's one thing, na?
Yes.
Sannyasi. हमने सब छोड़ दिया. नहीं, कुछ नहीं छोड़ा. कुछ नहीं छोड़ा. तो बोले आपने तो क्या घर छोड़ दिया? नहीं जाता हूँ मैं घर पे फादर दादर को मिलने. कभी कभी जाता हूँ. और मंदिर में भी मैंने I do all kind of activities. We go and bring flowers for the Lord. We do that cutting of the vegetables, we distribute books, whatever. In fact, so many services comes. So where we have left everything? Not left anything. So, but because they have in mind, that sannyas means that people in Vrindavan or people in Kashi, they leave everything, they leave home, social life is dead, isn't it? So that kind of sannyas, that is a jnana yogi sannyas. That is Jnana Yogi Sanya, who are purified and who are absorbed in God realization. So that is the kind of sannyasi people have in mind. And therefore they say, oh, you all have left. That's not possible. Because we are bound to, we have some desire to do the things, isn't it? So you make that person who is working actively in outside field, outside world, who have zeal, and to want to progress in career, and suddenly you make them leave the job and keep it in the temple or somewhere and do nothing. Not possible. They have to do something, right? So therefore, nacha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhi gacchati. So just by leaving everything, not working, liberation is not guaranteed. And na karmanam anarambha, and without starting the activities. Which kind of activities? Prescribed activity. So for a brahmachari, this is a brahmachari. For a brahmachari, there is a prescribed activity. What he has to do? What is the prescribed activity for a brahmachari?
You
Huh?
should live in the Guru's ashram under the Guru's instruction.
You mentioned something?
Wake up early, attend the Mangal Aarti.
So in Mangal Aarti time, Guru says, go and bring the flower. Like when we joined, 4 o'clock, we have to go. 5 o'clock, we have to go to Dadar market to get the flower. So that time, no Mangal Aarti.
Guru's instruction.
So instructions of Guru. Staying in the ashram of Guru, whatever Guru says. And generally he won't say no Mangalarti. Only in emergency. So what you said was right. Right? So, prescribed activity. Who will prescribe?
Guru.
Based on what?
The scriptures.
Scriptures. So, Guru, Sadhu and
Shastra.
Shastra. So, prescribed duty is for everyone. For Grihastha, for Brahmachari, for Vanaprastha, for Sannyasi, for everyone. So, na karmanam anarambha. And what is the purpose for that prescribed duty?
Attachment to Krishna.
Attachment to Krishna, and by that attachment,
with
purification. To purify. Purify what?
ourselves.
For mind.
Mind, intelligence.
From what? Our mind has what? So many desires.
Desires.
Of what?
Enjoy.
Sense gratification. Right? We want to work so that we get to enjoy. Our senses get to enjoy. So therefore, if one performs the prescribed duty as per one's word and ashram, then one will get purified. And when one is purified, then one can absorb completely on Krishna. Chant, focus, absorbed in that. Right? One time somebody complained to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati that this brahmachari is full time, he's only chanting. Only chanting. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, okay, you write a give advertisement in a newspaper saying that we in this Gaudiya Math are inviting any person who has to simply come and do what? Chant. We will give him everything. He does not have to work outside. We will provide all clothing, shelter, everything. And you know how many applications came? Zero. So it's not easy to simply sit and chant. Because one has to absorb what? Mind, intelligence. Acting is easy with the hands and body. You look at somebody go and bring mango from the market. Festival is there. Go nicely car, gaadi leke or take a taxi, go do the rating, negotiate, and then bring and tired. Nice. For Krishna, I did something. But you tell them, sit and chant. So difficult. Why? Because no passion. Just have to sit. Sit calm and quiet. But mind is something. So it's very difficult. So without having purified oneself, it's difficult to sit and focus. Unless one has done all this hectic seva and passion which is there, utilize that passion in service of the Lord, or without any desire for sense gratification. That means nishkam karma, selfless. That is nishkam karma yoga. If one does not do that, that absorption in Krishna or by nishkam karma yoga into Atma. Right? Because that is systematic. Nishkam karma yogi gets focused on Atma because he does not know that Krishna is the supreme. Right? But by doing that nishkam selflessly, he gets then thinks about what is inside. Like Atma and that self-realization. So that's a gradual process. So we can use either as a nishkam karma yoga or a buddhi yoga. Prabhupada even uses Krishna consciousness, right? Isn't it? So this verse is saying, na karmanam anarambha. If one has not started activity, which kind of activity? Prescribed. Na karmanam anarambha. Arambhi nahi kiya. So naishkarmyam. Naishkarmyam means freedom from reaction. Freedom from the reaction. Or in other words, one cannot attain the non-action of the senses, wherein person can give up the sense activities, going to the market and not needed. If one can focus on that is freedom from the reaction. That is the non-action of the senses. It's not necessary that everybody has to act only. No, if one can simply focus, like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, simply come sit and chant. No need of your action senses to act. That is naishkarmya. So this Naishkarmyam can't be achieved unless one has already initially started prescribed duty. Karma arambha. So na karma na arambha, anarambha, naishkarmyam purusha ashnute. Without purifying. Purpose is to purify by engaging, right? Because everyone engages in this world. You see in the morning, as soon as it starts, Mumbai city, local, everybody starts running. Doodh le, chai le, this le, paper le, all this. For what? Money. And with money comes sense gratification. You get what you want. Isn't it? So for oneself. But then that is activity everyone performs. So then Krishna says, perform without attachment. Means without desiring for the results. Then who will enjoy the result? If not me. So Krishna says, who is the enjoyer? Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Maheshwaram, I am the, it's mine. We say that I earned it, but Krishna says, no, it's Maheshwaram. And enjoyer is also me, Krishna is saying. Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Suridam. Oh, when you are the enjoyer, then means we are just like Nokar. He said, no, I am the benefactor of all of you. Just knowing this, just knowing only this much, that Krishna is the actual enjoyer. He possesses everything and he is well-wisher of all of us. That means if we provide him enjoyment, we also get enjoyment. Just by knowing this, Jnatva mam shanti mrichati, one gets peace, happiness. So therefore this na karmanam anarambha naishkarmyam purusham ashnute na cha sannyasanaadeva samsiddhim samadhi gacchati. So a renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge of the prescribed form of duties which are laid down just to purify the heart of the materialistic man. So why prescribed duties? Just which are laid down to purify the heart of the materialistic man. Without purification, one cannot attain success by abruptly adopting the fourth order of life. See, abruptly adopting. Adopting fourth life, sannyas, is very good. But abruptly adopting is very bad. Why? Because purification has not happened. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyas or retiring from fruitive activities, one at once become as good as Narayan. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyas is simply a disturbance to the society. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance is is accepted by the Lord. See, on the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, or Nishkam Karma Yoga, without discharging his prescribed duties. Now somebody takes to Bhakti Marg and his prescribed duties of the family, society. Even that is a prescribed duty. But Bhakti Yoga is the most prescribed one for the soul. So if somebody takes to Bhakti Yoga here directly, then even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance is is accepted by the law. That is accepted by the law. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome the great difficulties. So gradual process is one act as per one's dharma, right? Material dharma and spiritual dharma. Two kinds of dharma. One for the soul, one for his body, right? So for the soul, it's bhakti yoga, we say. And for the body, it is like prescribed, whichever, Kshatriya, whatever dharma. And then somebody keep aside all this, perform devotional service directly. Bhakti Marga, Vaishnava Dharma, that one follows. Then that prescribed duty, all does not matter.
Arjuna could have told that we want to have prescribed duty.
I will directly
Take to
I'll go in the forest.
devotional service.
So in that devotional service, what you want to do now? want to do directly devotional service. So you do not want to fight. You want to do devotional service. What is that devotional service? In devotional service means what? What is done in devotional service? Like when I joined,
Surrender.
surrender. Surrender means what?
Follow the instruction.
Follow the instruction of whom?
Doing what Krishna wants.
And here
When I
Krishna is
joined-
spiritual.
When I joined, I remember in the base one fine day, morning, I had a lot of fever in the night, about to die on. In the morning, I told Prabhu, I am coming with you to the temple. He said, what about office? I said, not going. He said, what you will do? I said, whatever you tell me. He said, sure. I said, yes. He said, okay, I'm telling you to go to office. I was kind of. I said, Prabhu, I want to come with you. He said, but now only you told me I will do whatever I tell you. I said, yeah, I'm telling you to go to office. I was kind of, I said, how long? He said, go at least for 1 year, then I will tell you. I have no choice. See, I want to join. Join means what? You have to do whatever is being told. I said, okay, you go and do your job now. He went. So when we said that Arjuna is telling, no, I don't want to fight, I want to do bhakti, devotion service. What is Krishna telling him? Fight?
The focus has to change. He has to fight for Krishna, not for himself.
Ah.
A fight as
Fight
per
for
Krishna's will.
Yeah, so how do we know if somebody is telling, Prabhu, I am doing this job? So, it's like, for Krishna I am doing it. Like one BMC man, very good position. He came and told to the management that, Prabhu, I am getting nice under table from this job, PMC man. So then management said, okay, so what? So then he's telling that, whether should I take it or not? I want to ask that. He said, what is your opinion? He said, I will take and I will give it to Krishna, maximum. 90% or 50% he told something. He said, I will give it to Krishna temple. So then what management told? Free में मिल रहा है मंदिर को. What would you have done? As a manager, what would you have done? नहीं लेने का?
Actually, it's a wrong action.
Wrong action. Wrong means
For wrong.
But he's using for Krishna.
Even then, this first you have to see what is right.
Yeah.
He's pure. He
Huh?
by giving a part of the money to the temple, he's purifying the entire money.
He's purifying entire money. Preaching activities will grow on. So why not take?
Even for Valmiki, you cannot do it.
For Valmiki what?
He was spending it for his parents and wife. They said you cannot do a wrong action.
And does everybody know that story of Valmiki? He was hunting and then what is his guru told him? That, by this lot of sins you will incur. He said, but I am doing it for my family. He said, go and ask your family. Will they incur the sin? Will they collaborate with you and cooperate with you in taking up the sins from this? So he asked his wife and children. Wife said, no, Baba, you are doing all this thing. It's your duty for you to feed us. But then you are doing all this such bad karma. Why should we
So there are two tracks.
incur the
It's not
sins?
the prescribed duty.
Huh?
To take under the table is not a prescribed duty.
So there are two tracks. One is you get under the table even when you're doing the prescribed thing. One you're giving because you want something wrong to be done. I think the first one, because it's an established system in a way that even if you're doing legal work, there's a gratification kind of thing. So that money will be separate, but something you're giving some undue advantage and then taking money, that will be wrong.
Come again. Did everyone got it?
right with grandson. Like,
Huh?
Bribe with condition, like someone it said, Naki, don't pay the go to a petrol pump, don't pay, we give tips. The tips is a favorable bribe. But if someone says, I will not fill in air pressure unless you give me money, that is a wrong application. So in this chair, if he's getting that benefit, under the table benefit,
Under the table means under the table.
under the table,
Means you are asking, if you want this thing to be done by me, I want this. Otherwise, I will not do.
Yeah.
That is under table. If out of happiness somebody has done his job, that person does his job, and out of happiness he is giving that is a gift. I'm not talking about gift. I'm talking about bribe. That is under table. It's clear.
Still no.
Huh?
No only.
आंसर वेरी स्लो बाय द नेचर ऑफ द पर्सन. अभी उसको मना बोलने के बाद भी वो करेगा ही, तो फिर बेटर है कि यस ही बोलो.
मना करने के बाद भी करेगा तो इसके लिए क्या करने का बोल दो कि हाँ चलेगा.
then you're sanctifying action. That's not correct.
Huh?
If you're saying
Prabhuji,
मतलब
what
That-
about the person who is giving, who is giving that money? You see how you don't know in what situation he would be who is giving the money.
Okay.
Even if he uses that money for, for charity or for giving in Krishna's name, I don't think that that is right. Because that money has come from somebody who might have given it in a situation where he may not be in a situation to give that.
Okay, let's take in a situation where he's able to give. Means he has he's very rich and he's giving, he's offering.
Still, that is, I think it's not encouraged by Krishna itself, bribing and doing.
So what is the reason? Earlier you said that because he's not able to give, so it is not good because he's not able to give. Now he's able to give, still it is not good. Still it is not good.
So Prabhuji, if that BMC guy is asking somebody from the temple that he is getting under money, whether he should take it or not take it, I don't think that the temple person should encourage him to get that money.
Why?
Because that doesn't Krishna says that. Do you
Where?
think Krishna says that?
I'm asking.
No, Krishna never said that you take bribe from others. Is there anything mentioned in the scriptures where Krishna has encouraged?
You see?
Prabhuji,
Yeah, that's a question to be asked. Yes, Krishna anywhere mentioned that you can do when it comes to me, if you are doing my service, then you are allowed to break the rules.
the kings will tax more to build temples.
Prabhuji,
You are right.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, I think because that person wants to had done some कुछ उसको काम करवाना है तो वो उस इंसान से नहीं तो किसी और से करवाएगा. He is ready to give the bribe. He is not asking. He is ready to give the bribe to get his work done faster or easily so that he has मतलब उसका जो हार्ड वर्क है इधर उधर भटकने का वो कम हो जाए. So उसमें उसका भी फायदा है और उसका भी जो सामने वाले को जिसको ब्राइब मिल रही है उसका भी फायदा है क्योंकि वो एंड he is ready to give all of it or 90% of it to Krishna because anyways the money belongs to Krishna, so it's coming to Krishna in whatever way it's coming. It's not the question के वो किस तरीके से आ रहा है, but वो कृष्ण के पास आ रहा है, कृष्ण का पैसा कृष्ण के पास आ रहा है, that's important. That's what I think.
Wow, thank you. So you see, here there is a situation wherein one is studying. Nowhere Krishna mentions that one should do it in this way. Means go against the dharma. Dharma says earn with a proper consciousness, in a proper way, and from that you offer. Another here is if it is coming in a whatever way, but ultimately it's coming to Krishna. But only 90% is coming, not 100%.
Prabhuji, then 10% of sin he has to उनको मिलेगा जो भी उनका 10% का जो भी हिस्से का जो
10%
उनका
मिलेगा.
रहेगा.
और कोई बोलेगा मैं 100% दे देता हूँ.
Then also.
Then it's okay.
Then it's not.
He's renounced.
So Krishna,
aspire for.
yeah. So what temple said? Temple said, Baba, we want you to progress in bhakti, and for that, offering from one's hard-earned money, though it may be little, it will purify. Offering whatever one earns genuinely, that will purify. Because when you take anything under table, it's like सामने वाले का you are getting paid for your work. You're getting paid for your work. It's your duty to do it. Why you have to demand?
Yeah.
If out of happiness somebody is giving, that is different. But if you are supposed to do it, what kind of example you will set? You see?
Prabhuji, it is also
Yes.
said that Krishna accepts only from the devotees. Okay.
Krishna accepts?
From the devotees only, na? If the devotee is
No.
giving, then Krishna accepts.
No, why? For Krishna, there is no devotee, non-devotee. Everyone is children of Krishna. And he becomes happy when somebody gives him. So why only devotees? Krishna accepts from everybody.
If you had donated,
Am I
Like,
correct, Prabhuji?
yes.
Krishna accepts from everybody. Yeah.
But if any non-devotee offer prasadam to Krishna, then if Krishna will accept
If any non-devotee accepts, offers what?
prasadam to Krishna.
Yeah.
Bhoga to Krishna.
Yeah.
So Krishna, of course, he will accept more lovingly because devotee is offering not only out of duty, he's offering out of love. So he accepts it. But if somebody out of even grudgingly somebody offers to Krishna, at least he has started offering. Slowly, slowly, out of love, he will offer. So Krishna, he comes in various forms to accept, to interact. Right? So Krishna is very merciful. So genuinely one should earn, and from that one should give. Otherwise, one is propagating wrong actions, isn't it? So even if it is 100%, still the act itself. Today, that person won't mind taking it under table. Tomorrow, that will may become big. Today, 90% one is offering. Tomorrow, you will say that 90, 80 kar deta. So there is no
End to it.
Yeah. So for one's betterment, it's better that one should always earn in a nice way, genuine way. And of course, when you are doing business, you cannot say that, if that person says, ये तुम्हारी दुकान में अच्छी चीज मिल रही है, अच्छा शुगर मिल रहा है ना, हाँ मेरे इससे अच्छा वो कहीं नहीं मिलेगा आपको. That is one way of telling. Another way is नहीं इससे अच्छा तो वो दूसरा है, वो थोड़ा सस्ते में भी देगा, कम में अच्छा भी देगा. ठीक है, तो फिर वो वहीं से लेगा. So one has to tell bit of lie. Nothing is pure. So some lie goes in the business, right? Therefore, this charity is there. So by charity, one purifies one's money. Yeah. So even so there are certain places where one has to tell bit of lie, not complete lie, but a bit of. So like one is in business, another which I remember is in marriage. किसी का अगर शादी नहीं हो रहा है और होने वाला जम रहा है और उसमें किसी ने पूछ लिया कैसा है, तुम्हारे नहीं ये प्रॉब्लम है वो प्रॉब्लम है, नॉट इट इज नॉट अ सीरियस थिंग, बट अगर किसी का मैच हो रहा है somebody में से रहा अच्छा है, चलने दो, जाने दो, कर लो. सो इन दैट आल्सो थोड़ा सा झूठ चलता है. दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड, राइट? सो सर्टेन लाइज आर keeps happening, right? So in business also, therefore this charity is there to purify our money. So with न कर्माणम अनारंभ नैष्कर्म्यम पुरुषम न च संन्यासनात् एव सिद्धिं समाधिगच्छति. Now verse 5th. न च कश्चित् क्षणमपि न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्व प्रकृतिजैर्गुणे. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi, even for a one shana, jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Jatu janma, possible. Akarmakrit, without doing any activity, and cannot remain even for a moment. Karyate hi avasha karma. Karyate. one does their avasha karma. Avasha means without one's own vasha, control. Sarva Prakriti Jair Gune, all the living entities. Prakriti Jair means Janma, born of Prakriti. Gune. So Prakriti has given certain modes to the people, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, right? Based on that, they are Kshatriya, Vanaprastha, like kind of people. So based on that nature, one does the work. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. It is a question of embodied life, but it is the nature of the soul to be always active. It is not a question of embodied life, but it is the nature of the soul to be always active. Without the presence of the spirit soul, the materialist body cannot move. The body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spirit soul, which is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in the occupations dictated by the illusory energy. In contrast with the material energy, the spirit soul acquires material modes and to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties enjoined in the Shastra. Now, question is that why one has to perform the prescribed duties enjoined in the Shastra? Prabhupada says here, in contact with the material energy, the spirit soul acquires material modes. Soul is pure, right? But when it comes in contact with the material energy, it acquires material modes. And to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duties enjoined in the Shastra. But the soul, if the soul is engaged in the natural function of Krishna consciousness, whether he is able to do whatever he is able to do is good for him. So one is engaging in the prescribed duty as per the Shastra, that is Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga. Another is, but when the soul is engaged in its natural function of Krishna consciousness, that is what? Bhakti Yoga. So you see, Prabhupada here, he is taking directly to the Bhakti Yoga. Everyone has to perform the work, isn't it? That is mentioned. But Prabhupada is taking them directly to Bhakti Yoga. You see how beautiful Prabhupada is. So he is quoting, Tyaktva sadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan apakvo atha patet tato yadi. Bhajan apakvo. If somebody takes to Krishna consciousness, even though he may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastra or execute the devotional service properly, like somebody says, you have left your parents and all. It's a duty of a children to take care of parents. People do say, right? And then what is the guarantee you will be able to doing bhakti properly or not? You may come back after certain years. People say that. They are not wrong. But the Bhagavad Gita, what Srimad Bhagavatam, if someone takes to Krishna consciousness, even though he may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastra or execute the devotional service properly, and even though he may fall down from the standard, there is no loss or evil for him. But if he carries out all injunctions for the purification in Shastra, what does it avail him if he is not Krishna conscious? If someone takes care of the parents very nicely, but then at the end of the life, you don't know who is Krishna, what is the use? What is the gain? So the purificatory process is necessary for reaching this point of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, sannyas or any purificatory process is to help reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna consciousness, without which everything is considered a failure. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य यासते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते. So now from verse 4th onwards, nahi karmanam anarambha naishkarmyam purusha ashnute nahi sannyasanadiva samsiddhim samadhi gacchati. Without working, one will not get purified. So this theme is going on for the next 13 verses. So from 13, from chapter 4, from the verse number 4 till verse number 16. Right? 13 verses. He will talk about one has to work to purify oneself. Huh? Without purifying oneself, if somebody takes directly to the sannyas, then that sannyas then that person is not proper. That will not work out. Right? So continuing in that theme, verse 6, which says that कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य या आसते मनसा स्मरण इंद्रियार्थान विमूढ़ात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते. So karma indriyani samyamya. So karma indriyani. So the senses, karma senses, 5 senses. Samyamya is somebody is controlling. But ya asate manasa smaran. But whose mind is gumrah, in sense gratification. Indriyarthan vimudhatma. So that foolish person, mithyachara se uchyate. He is simply a pretender. Right? Verse 7. Yes, through India.
When we come to bhakti, we are not purified that much. Still, we hanker for the sense gratification. So, are we also pretender?
See, when we come to bhakti, our goal is pure devotional service. We are practicing pure devotional service. Our focus is to achieve the love of Godhead. We are striving for that. We are following the instructions given by the Guru. Right? However, because we are conditioned, we are not pure enough, mind will distract us. Intelligence will go astray. And one may fall down. But then, what does one do? One says, Chalta hai. After all, I am chanting. Krishna will take me. I am doing holy name. Is that the way we are thinking? And there are offenses. Continuing performing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. See, that will be the offense. Right? See, one continues and justifies one's wrongdoing. Then he's a cheater. But if one repents, oh my God, I'm striving, but it's not happening. Krishna, please help me. He struggles, but continues. Then that is not mithyachara. He's helpless. Right? That is not mithyachara. But one justifies chalta attitude, then that is tension. Answers? Correct.
Prabhuji, can this verse be applied in the previous example of that DMC chap? If he wants to give donation for the sake of donation, then it's okay. If he wants to give donation to sanctify his wrongdoing, then that will be a mithyachar.
He has a good desire to, because he's getting in that field. See, if you understand that point, his point of view, in that field, somewhere outside now, without donation, you will be like, people won't keep you there. If you, because
the system is developed
in such a way that that person's senior, he will be accepting, because he has to pass on to him also some cuts. So if this person is bona fide, pure enough, and he does not want to take, but then that front person will pressurize him. कि बाबा तू नहीं ले रहा है, मेरा क्या होगा? I want it. So there will be pressure for his job also. Then what he will do? See, because of his job, he is able to perform. Perform in devotional service because his food, clothing is taken care. But now he does not want to take, but pressure is there. Then what he will do? So you see, then situation will change. Then just to keep his job, he may have to do it. In that, then he gives it. So then the situation changes. So it's not easy. Goal is what? One should in the mind consider that I do not want to do the wrong thing. Unnecessarily disturb the people by, charging them and all. That should be clear. And for the situation based, one has to do that. You see? Intention should be clear. I do not want to, I want to follow the scriptures. Dharma. I want to abide by dharma. That should be the goal. Isn't it? And then he can ask the senior, that Prabhu, this is there. I will not get job otherwise. This job I have to get. And you see, they are expecting. So what should I do? Then even whatever devotee says, if he does, we will be saved. Then it does not matter. Devotee says yes, you take, or devotee says no, you don't take. And devotees will guide properly. They not say that no, you don't take. Lose your job, but don't take. Then will they feed them? See? Therefore, we need guidance. That guide also should be based on what? Not like what I will get. If temple was just looking from what organization benefits, I'm not looking from that person's benefit point of, they would have always told, yeah, get 90 का 50 भी चलेगा. तब तक हमको आ रहा है. You go to hell, you just give me. Huh? So you see how his devotees guided him? No. He said no.
It means ultimately that there is no single answer. It's totally depends on situation, conditions.
Condition. A person like Arjuna got bewildered. So what to speak of us? Dharma samuda chetaha. Yashreyam nishchitam bhuitam me shishyastam shadimam. See, a person like Arjuna got bewildered. Therefore we have counselors, mentors, all the guides in the temple. So this word is very bewildering. There will be challenges, there will be problems, there will be calamities. Today's lecture, Prabhu was telling, what is the difference between problems and calamities? For problems, we can apply our intelligence and there can be a solution. But for calamities, we just have to follow it. Sarvakala kritam manye. Vishnu Pitama says that is for you people. It's only the time, I would say. Otherwise, we have a person like Dhanurdhar, Gandiva, Dharan karne wala Arjuna, fighter like Bhima. Still you have to go through all these calamities. It's only by the will of Krishna, time, factor. Sarvakala kritam. So in everybody's life such situation comes. Therefore, being in the association of devotees, being the guide, taking instructions, guidance, time and again, is the only solace. And then intelligence being sharpened by the scriptural studies helps us to take informed decisions. Niyatam kuru karmatvam कर्म जायो हि अकर्मणः शरीर यात्रा पिचते न प्रसीध्येत कर्मणः. Okay. यस्तु इंद्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभते अर्जुन कर्म इंद्रिये कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. So you see in the previous verse, 6th verse, it is mentioned that one who restrains his senses but whose mind dwells on the sense object, he is a pretender. But on other hand, so when you have to say but, means you are going to speak something different from what has been spoken previously. So but, so here that but is with the word, Sanskrit word tu. Tu is but. So but means tu, but yaha means one who manasa, one who indriyani manasa, one who controls the senses by the mind, niyamya, by performing the niyam, regulative, one who is regulated. One who, a sincere person who tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga without attachment is by far superior. Isn't it? So he who controls the senses by the mind, aiming for the Atma, performing karma yoga with his active senses. So one is who has stopped the action, engaging senses on the sense object, who has stopped. But mind is dwelling. Better than that is a person who has been started performing the activities and in a detached way. In a detached way, by detachment to the reason. That person is by far superior. So here the comparison is with what? Comparison is between the person whose senses are not purified, but he stops the senses. Mind is going on. That means that person is not pure. Here we are not comparing with the purified person, like a sannyasi who is contemplating on the Lord and who has given up the action. That's not the case. Some cannot say that, see, better than a person who has given up sannyasi, and they tell them sannyasi, the person who is working, hard worker. That is not the comparison. Comparison here is a person who is not purified and has given up the engagement and in the mind is contemplating with a person who is actively working with the mind detached from the results. Mind is detached from the result, not like just working. Mind is detached from the results. That person is by far superior.
So here is, we can call is struggler.
Struggler, yes.
So
that person is
he is
struggling.
the struggler and he is the pretender.
Yes, exactly. So see, instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from the material bondage and get into the kingdom of God. The prime Swartha Gati, or the goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Ashram is designed to help us reach this goal of life. A householder can reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Shastras and continue carrying out his business without attachment, and in that way make progress. A sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than a false pretender who adapts show-bottle spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Some people, they wear this dress. Why? So that people have that faith, they will give money, and by that money they enjoy sense gratification. That is dangerous. Better than that is person accepts humble position, works hard in a detached way, and contemplates on Supreme Lord. That is much better. नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं
नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं
कर्म जायो हि अकर्मणा
कर्म जायो हि अकर्मणा
शरीरयात्रा अपि च ते
शरीरयात्रापि च ते
न प्रसीदयेद कर्मणा
न प्रसीदयेत् कर्मणा.
So niyatam kuru karmaktam. Therefore, perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Even the sannyasi, they have to go and beg Madhubari. So for daily activities, they have to go, right? So one cannot maintain one's physical body without work. One have to take bath every day, isn't it? So nityam karma one has to do. So perform your prescribed duties. For doing so is better than work. Sharir yatra pichate. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. So one has to somehow work. Yeah. Now the conclusion is work. Right? Because we have to purify. But then, what kind of work? That should be a question, na?
Yes.
What kind of work? So now it takes a different turn only. What kind of work? So Krishna says, Yagyarthat karma nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana
लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः
tadartham karma kaunteya
कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara.
मुक्तसङ्गसमाचर.
Yajna arthat karmana. For what purpose? Kimartham? Yagyartham. Kimartham? For what purpose? Kimartham? Yajnartham. Yagya arthat kim. Yagya means what? So, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Yagya say Vishnu. Yagya means Vishnu. Shastra says Yagya means Vishnu. So for what purpose? For Yagya artha, for the work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Madartham. See, Krishna has elsewhere spoken last time. Madartham. Now here says Yagya artha, karmano. So for the sake of Vishnu has to be performed. Why is not telling Are merle kar baba? You see, he's not telling my, for me, Madartham. See, here he's using for the sake of Vishnu. Like that. So, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Yagyarthat karmano. Anyatra loko yam karma bandhan. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. A very simple statement. Any work has to be done for the pleasure of Vishnu, Krishna, nobody else. Otherwise, it's bondage. It's very clear. यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र कर्म बंधना तदर्थम उसके लिए श्री कृष्ण से तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय means karma means you should perform mukta, but how in what way you should work? Mukta sangha samachara. Mukta sangha steshu upajayate, attachment to the result. If somebody does work, the real attachment to the result. So Krishna is saying mukta sangha means mukta attachment to the result. So tadartham karma kaunteya, but without attachment. Samachara, do perfectly.
Here, why? ऐसा भी तो बोल सकते हो ना मेरे लिए why Vishnu?
Yeah, here he's like bringing up the topic, For him you do. Just like if somebody is a speaker in Bhagavatam, and he says that, you should surrender to the Guru. And, I am here as one of the Siksha Guru here. So it's not like this. Right? It's a decent way of saying, right? So he will not say that, okay. So here Krishna, of course there is a mode, but here he does not. I exactly don't know what mode with which he is telling here. But you see, this is the point. Tadartham he is telling. It's not directly, but later on he will say, Mad. He will say that. Sarva dharmant pratyajya ma ekam. Yeah. So because see, here he is telling about the principles. So when it comes to the principles for Krishna, like he's telling about the Paramatma and that Supreme and that Yagya, he's telling that. But then when that will develop more confidential and directly to as the Bhakti Yoga comes, then Krishna will say, yes, here when it comes to Bhakti Yoga, he will say directly me, for me. Okay. But because here, when the person is performing Karma Yoga, Ishkam Karma Yoga, Krishna is not introduced.
And later
he will. Good question, yeah. So you see, Krishna is not introduced yet, and devotees and that performer is not a devotee.
Yes.
Prabhupada is telling do perform bhakti, but technically, if you see the growth which is happening, is like a person who is performing, who is attached to activity, and they are instructed to do it as for yagya, and that is for Vishnu, because the Vishnu is a general term. But then when slowly he will progress, when he perform the work without attachment and without selflessness, without selfishness, then slowly what will happen? Knowledge will come. Which knowledge? That Vishnu is Krishna only. So, bahunam janmanam arthe ante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudeva sarva iti. It's Krishna is everything. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. But as a devotees, we immediately come to know everything is to be done for Krishna. For Krishna's pleasure. You see, that is the difference of Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, immediately Krishna is introduced. But in other process, Krishna comes at the end. Good question. Verse 10. Sayagya praja sistva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavisyadhyam kesho vastu ishtakamadu. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with the sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna," that is sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So in the beginning of this creation, when was that? Every time this creation keeps on happening. After the creation, as long as Lord Vishnu exhales, Mahavishnu exhales from the pores, from his breath, so many universes comes. And then when it goes down, everything goes. Right? Like this, it keeps on happening. So Pura means initially, earlier. So Puro Uvacha Prajapati. So initially, Uvacha Prajapati said. Who is Prajapati? Prajapati can mean Krishna. Prajapati can mean Brahma. Right? So it can mean any. But here generally it is a Prajapati Krishna. So Krishna is telling Pura Uvacha earlier. He said, Saha Yagya Prajasistva. Along with the Yagya, I have created what? Living entities. Or with the living entities, I have created Yagya. In the beginning of the creation. Now, beginning of the creation means what? First, is there any time where we were created? No, we were always there. So, what does it mean in the beginning of the creation? In the beginning of the creation means at a time when we were given the body or the Sustika Nirman. So, Sustika Nirman for what purpose? So that we again try to enjoy. See, again means what? इसके पहले भी, but यहाँ पे beginning बोला है. So, which beginning? पहला वाला ना? You can't say that first beginning. It's anadi. It's anadi. कोई आदि नहीं है उसका beginning. So our ignorance, is there a start? Is there a start to our ignorance?
Yeah.
When? Why? Next question will come. Why? How?
Separately enjoy.
From whom?
From Krishna.
That means we were there with Krishna.
Yes.
Shastra says that whoever is with Krishna will never come back. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam. Means that dham is very param, supreme. What kind of supreme? One who goes there never comes back. Then how did you answer that? Mameva amsho jiva bhuta jiva bhuti sanatana. Mameva amsho. It is amsha of Krishna. We are talking about different thing. This verse says that my own ansha. Manasasrani indiyani prakriti sani karsati. In this prakriti, it is doing karshan. But once remembering Krishna and goes back to him, there is no karshan. It's a Vaikunta, there is no kunta. How that kunta, forgetting Krishna, will come? It's not possible. So it's that ignorance is anadi. So when we say in the beginning of the creation, we have to take one of the time when this universe was created and we got the body. We got the body, that creation.
But then how soul enters to that body then?
How soul enters the soul who has beginningless desire to enjoy separately from anadi time keeps on getting the body in each creation. So Krishna is telling in the beginning of one such creation, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth the generations of men and demigods.
So when the soul at that time, so soul is pure by self.
Soul is pure, right? But that soul has a beginningless desire to enjoy. Therefore, is in this material world. Huh? Therefore, Lord is giving him an opportunity. You go back to same thing. How? Why? It's a beginningless time. Right? Understand? It's a beginningless time. Anadi Kalsa.
We see that one who goes there does not come back.
So who told we were there?
No, we were not. I'm saying, but Jaya Vijay were also there. They created.
Jai Vijay case is different.
They
See,
came back.
Jai Vijay's case is different. They wanted to fight with Krishna. थोड़ा मस्ती करनी थी.
उन्होंने गलती की because they did not allow the Sanat Kumar's inside. So they got the curse.
Yeah. But then why that happened? But अपने लीला के लिए अपने भक्तों को भेज देंगे क्या? No, it is their desire. Krishna knew their desire. And Krishna played that role, that Leela, so that their innate desire to fight. It's a masti. That fighting is masti with Krishna.
Okay.
You're getting it?
Prabhuji, like it said,
That is the rasa made, Prabhuji.
Prahlad Maharaj took form of Angad in the Ramayana. And Kalu Tukaram was also said as Prahlad. This is what I've heard in the thinking Prahlad Maharaj. Angad is his incarnation is Vapar Lok, and Tukaram is in Kali. So how come then they are coming taking rebirth? If you just said if you go back to Godhead, then you don't come back. Or the Manjiri they're coming up with.
See, coming, you don't come back means what? You are not forced to come back. But if you want to play with Krishna and Krishna is saying, I'm going and performing Leela, and you say, I also want to come with you and play with you. So, क्या problem है? They are not bewildered. They are not in Maya. They are in Yoga Maya. Like Arjuna, whenever Krishna comes, he comes. So he's not like crying and succumbing to the material energy. He's always in Yoga Maya. He's not in Maya. He's in Yoga Maya. Yashoda Maya, she comes. Right? So do you think she's in Maya? No, that's the play. That's the inaction that they do. That's the Leela. That is called Leela. Therefore, it is called Leela. But it is under the potency of Yoga Maya. Even the devotees of Krishna come with Krishna. They are called Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivik Prakarshim Ashrita. They are in the ashraya of Bhus Prakriti, Daivik, in the Yoga Maya potency. Therefore, that is Leela. Got it? So, initially, in the beginning of the creation, what Krishna did, along with the living entities who were given the body, Krishna also gave what? Yajna. Yajna means the prescribed duties. Right? So, sa yajna praja srishtva, srushtika nirman srishtva, puro uvacha prajapati. Initially, he spoke. What he spoke? Anena. Anena means what? By this. By what? By this yajna. Prescribed duties. By this. Anena prasavidya vidhavyam. Prasavidya means become more and more prosperous. Grow more and more. Prasavidyam. Esha vaha astu. Vaha means of you all. Esha, this. Ishta kamadu. Astu, let it be. Ishta kamadu. Ishta means one who desires. Ishta. Ichit. है ना? इष्ट देव बोलते हैं ना? इच्छित, वर्शिपेबल. जो आप जिसको आप वर्शिप कर रहे हो, इष्ट देव. और what you desire. So kamadu. Let this yajna that you perform will fulfill your desires. And what is the desire? Living entity fulfill the. Generally, the people what they desire, कि अच्छा है, खाना पीना, रोटी कपड़ा मकान, maintenance, right? And once one who gets a human body, the goal is what? Liberation. We say Krishna consciousness, but liberation, no? Liberation. So both the things, maintenance and liberation, both the things happens. So Krishna, he made this system. What is the system? Along with the living entities, Krishna has sent yajna. Right? Which kind of living entities? Which have fallen, means who are forgetful of Krishna. Right? So they have desire. Roti kapda maintenance का. साथ साथ में सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन भी करना है, बट कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं कि बेटर कीप डू इट keeping Krishna in the center, or that yajna in the center. Do it for Vishnu. Do it for Vishnu's sake. Like we have a tendency to eat tasty things, right? So offer it and take the remnants. We have a tendency for physical intimacy with the opposite gender. So Krishna says, okay, do it in a regulated way with a marriage constitution. Simple. So in that way, he has created that. And by doing that, what will happen? Slowly one will get liberated. No? Yes.
Here Prabhupada describe, translate this yajna as a sacrifice. So here is it from the beginning, like when the Jivatma falls down to this material world. So by practicing this sacrifice means here only not that yajna sacrifice, or sacrifice means desired sacrifice also, like your wrong desire should be also sacrificed.
Yeah. So what is the details about the sacrifice? So in the 5th chapter, you will get to know, 4th chapter, you will get to know various kinds of sacrifice. One is dravya yajna, tapa yajna, jnana yajna. So different, those who are karma yogis, they perform dravya yajna, karma khandis. Those who are jnana yogis, they perform different sacrifice. Those who are brahmacharis, they perform different. Those who are vanaprastha, they perform. Those who are grastha, they perform different kinds of sacrifice. So what is a brahmachari? They perform sacrifice. They sacrifice their they sacrifice by chanting the shlokas. See, they have to repeat the mantra and all. That is brahmachari do. By controlling the senses, right? And grihastha, they sacrifice by offering their senses. They use the senses, but in a regulated way. You see, means having objects of senses, but still bringing that regulation into picture. That is a yajna. So similarly, different kinds of sacrifice are mentioned, and that sacrifice brings knowledge. Jnane ends with knowledge. That sacrifice ends with what? When one performs that sacrifice, it ends in knowledge. Knowledge of Atma. And then ends with the knowledge of Paramatma. Then, with the connection with the devotee, it ends in bhakti. Getting it? So that's how systematically it will develop. So here, just now, the introduction of karma yajna has brought. Right? Because people tendency to enjoy. So Krishna is saying, along with the praja, what I have called? Yajna have introduced. And that with yajna, that will fulfill all your desires. And desires people have of maintenance and also of liberation. So Krishna is done that. Creation. Now, what does it say later on? Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantah sheya paramavapsatah. The demigods being pleased by the sacrifice will also please you, and thus by cooperation between men and the demigod, prosperity will reign for all. So Devan Bhavyatayena. So when Krishna says Sayagya Praja Sristva, so that Praja means what? In that Praja, some will be demigods, some will be earthly people. Right? And here he is telling Devan Bhavyatayena. So Bhavayata means by pleasing. उनको भाव देना, भावायतायना. By pleasing the demigods, te deva bhavayantu. They will please you. You please the demigod. How do we please the demigod? By performing the yajna. Which kind of yajna? Swaha. That kind of yajna, na? Right? That is one kind of yajna, not the only yajna. Certain kinds of yajna wherein you do Om Agnaya Swaha, Om Indraya Swaha. Right? So this is one kind of yajna. So they get benefited by that. They get pleased by that. And when they get something by that, when they are pleased, they will offer us whatever is needed. For each thing, there is a demigod. Even we are blinking these eyes, there is a controller of demigod. If he is not happy, our eye will be like problem. So you see, So by demigod's pleasure, we get into enjoy. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Parasparam means both being pleased. Shreya param avapsyataha. Prosperity will reign for everyone. It's a win-win situation. That's how the system who has created Krishna. Krishna is saying, I have created the system. Therefore, should one worship the demigod or not?
Yes.
As per this,
Yes.
right? But when will he take ultimately to Krishna consciousness? Right? In that, the answer will be no need. It's not like no. It's like no need if you are performing bhakti, directly praising Krishna. But if you are not, then at least please demigod. Because that is the cycle. You know, the other day, last time, somebody was asking that Jain Dharma is better or Christian Dharma. You see? The point is, system is anybody following the system of demigod is in the Jain Dharma. Jain means Nastik. Nastik Shastra nahi palan karte. And then what to speak about the Christian Dharma? In the Christian Dharma also, where is the demigod coming into picture? Is Krishna coming into picture? No.
Who is Jesus then?
Huh?
Who is Jesus?
He is the Son of God. Jesus is the Son of God. That's what they say. This is the Son of God. Thy Father is waiting for you in the heaven. That's fine. But then,
Well, he is the son of God. He did not promote the Vedas or anything like that.
yeah, he did not promote. So that's the problem. Right? And people also don't follow completely to him. See, he sacrificed. He was forgiving and all. So is that quality seen in the people? Uh-huh. So what is left for following? That is one thing. Right? And that Vedic fold is not coming. Therefore, Prabhupada says that as long as Vedic fold is not coming, therefore, better is our Hindu Dharma. At least demigods are coming into picture. Because slowly, then demigods.
So that's what they say. Jesus is son of God. But is it really that son of God?
No, that is clear, no? Jesus himself is telling. Right? In fact, every one of
But
us
then
are son
why
of God.
he didn't promote
In fact, everyone
everyone
are
is
son
part
of
and
God.
parcel?
Yeah. So he is like a kind of a messenger, right? And people who follow them and follow his instruction of forgiving everyone will get benefited. But at least follow now. It's a conversion and all. What is this? So therefore, following also. But what exactly are they following? Do they know that thou shall not kill? But they are eating all this thing. So why is the following? And we are comparing. Is this better than that? But what is better than what? What they are following? First of all, anyone who follows the principles, you see, will benefit. Dharma tu sakshat Bhagavad pranitam. Tolerance, forgiveness. These are all the good principles being taught by Krishna. Even without knowing, Krishna has given this principle. If one follows it, will get purified. And in that purified thing, one will at the end come to know that Krishna is the creator. Bhoktaram, Yagyatapasa, Sarvalokam Aishwaram. Jnatma, just by knowing, Shanti Vrichi, one becomes fearful, peaceful. So we should encourage such people to follow good things. If one can directly follow Krishna, well and good. So here you see, nicely that cycle is given. Please the demigod. Demigod will please you. Ishtan bhogan hi wo devan दासयन्ते यज्ञभाविता तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायेभ्यो यो भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव स. What if somebody does not follow this? Question may arise. What if somebody does not follow? That means they do not offer. What is the fault in executing? Not executing this? Huh? So he says that Ishtan Bhogan hi wo devan dasayante yagya bhavita. So Ishtan Bhogan, Ishta means ichha karna. Huh? वो देवान देवा भाव देवा दासयन्ते यज्ञ भाविता. So devatas being pleased with those sacrifice means what is pleasing to the demigods? Sacrifice. Huh? Ishtan bhogan hi wo deva dasayante yajna bhavita. Huh? These devatas being pleased with the sacrifice will bestow upon you the desired enjoyment. See, Ishta bhogan, which means those who are looking for the necessity of the lives. Huh? So, when they please demigods, demigod will bestow them whatever is necessary. Tair dattan means those given by the demigods, pradayebhya, if they do not give return, given by demigod, and if they don't even give return, in the sense not even being grateful. See, giving back means returning little bit means what? Being grateful, acknowledging, Baba, I'm grateful, you are giving me. One who does not do that, what is doing? Ye bhungte, one who enjoys without offering or being grateful. Stena eva saha. Saha means that person is stena. He is a thief. Simple, you see. In charge of various necessities of life. The demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, will supply all the necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods, in return is certainly a thief. And they are punished. That's karma cycle. Right? And
Hare
then,
Krishna.
yes.
Prabhuji, so
Yeah.
in this Kali Yuga, the sacrifice, the yajna is the Harinam Sankirtan, right?
Yeah.
And so if we are doing Harinam Sankirtan, we are pleasing Krishna as well as all the demigods, including everyone, right?
Perfect. Yes. I'm very glad you brought this point. And my request to all, please read the purport, because Prabhupada, he directly hits the point. Like you have mentioned, that in this age, so what kind of yajna? Because now that we have heard that if we perform the yajna to demigods are pleased and they will send us our desired things. So question may arise, oh, how to please the demigods? But as a devotee, we should understand that in this yuga, the greatest yajna is Harinam Sankirtan. Right? So we are not supposed to perform any special puja or yajnas to the different demigods. Isn't it? Because as soon as we are born, we are indebted to the 5 entities. Who are they? Demigods, because we get everything from them. We are also indebted to our father and mother, because we get the body from them. We are also indebted to other living entities, because they build the road and all. Other living entities who are like animals and all. Why? Because they give us the milk, dog take care of us, right? And then fifth is to the rishis, because they give us the knowledge, scriptures. So we are indebted to all these things. So we are supposed to perform our duties to them.
Demigods, parents, living entities, sages.
Other living beings, like animals and all.
So for demigods, parents, living entities, other living entities,
Rishis.
and living entities.
Rishis. In living entities, human beings. Another living entities are that parents and sister. So by Shraddha we do that. Right? So those who are not chanting, they are supposed to do the Shraddha, they are supposed to do the demigod worship. Right? All this. And those who are devotees, they will naturally be kind to the parents. They will respect the demigods. No need to separately go and worship, but they will be respectful to the demigods. They will read the scriptures. Right? So in this way, these things are fulfilled. Yagyasishtasin asanto uchante sarva kilbishay ujante tyagam papa ye pachanti atma karana यज्ञशिष्ट आसीनः संतः यज्ञशिष्ट शिष्ट यानी बचा हुआ यज्ञशिष्ट like today we did yajna of worshipping the or decorating the god decorating the Gopinath with the mangoes. Isn't that a yajna? Prescribed by our guru to do that. Isn't it a yajna? So we did that. And then yajna sister, remnants. What is the remnants? Mango. Yajna sister, asina. Asina means accepting. Who? Santaha. Devotees. Yajna sister, asina, santaha. What happens by that? Muchante gets freed from all the kilbishai, all the kalmash, all the muchante get rid of all the sins just by accepting the remnants. You know? So everybody comes together in a sankirtan or in a lecture, katha, and in that we keep the photo of Krishna and somebody brings and we keep it in front of Lord. You know? Isn't this a yajna?
Yes.
You know, hearing is a yajna. Jnana yajna. This is a jnana yajna. It will come in 4th chapter. It's a jnana yajna. You know, one is hearing in the ear. That is the yajna kund. Pouring what? The words of Krishna. You know, it's a jnana yajna. And in that, Krishna is also there in the photo. And offerings are brought. And at the end, fruit that is distributed. You see, Prabhupada would come and everyone will bring some apple. This Prabhupada would have. And he'll just cut and at the end he will give. What is that yajna system? There are different ways. Yajna sister does not mean only bhog lagaya Bhagwan ko and that is one. But even others, because the environment is surcharged with Krishna consciousness. In that, even in the trains, devotees are going in the train. There is no photo, nothing. And they are doing kirtan. And there is no time for katha. Because a lot of disturbance. So they do kirtan and all for half an hour and at the end, somebody says, you know, we have brought fruits, Prabhu, let's distribute. And they just like keep the fruits, remember Krishna, and then everyone is given. Isn't that yajna sister? See? So that is yajna sister. Asina santo muchante sarva kilbija. Just get freed. Bhujante te agham papa. Ye pachanti atmakana. Ye pachanti means one who cooks. One who cooks. Pachanti atmakarana. Here atma means what? For the satisfaction. Karana means for the pleasure of Atma, for oneself. See, human being. Atma can be human being, Atma can be nature, determination, Atma, Paramatma. All can be Atma. Body can be Atma. Human being also can be Atma. So here, Atma means human being. One who pachati, prepares food for Atma Karana, for one's sense gratification. So one who cooks for oneself. You know, like cooking, tasty bana hai. He ate on this thing. Bhujante te agam papa. Bhujate means they are enjoying agam papa. Not a normal sin. Grievous. Grievous sin. So just by understanding Gita, you see, one will refrain from eating or trying to enjoy. Isn't it so beautiful? Yajna sista sina santo muchante sarva kilibeshe bhujanti te agam papa ye pachanti atmakana. One who cooks for one's own self. Therefore, eating outside food, why? Should be avoided? Because the one who's he's cooking with all business minded. He wants to make it tasty. So he's like eating, chatting, and what, somebody spit also. That Thukia Samaj, I hope you mean. They spit also. And we eat that. What will go inside? अन्नाद् भवति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभव यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्म उद्भवं विधि ब्रह्म अक्षर समुद्भव तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्. Just by performing yajna, one will attain Krishna. How? Cycle is given in these two verses. By performing yajna, one can attain what? Krishna, liberation. Liberation, Krishna consciousness. Right? As I said, that one by performing yajna, one will get what for their maintenance of the body, what they desire, and also liberation. How one will get liberation, Krishna? So the cycle is given. By performing yajna, one attains Krishna. Why? Because the cycle is given. How is that cycle? So first is human beings are made, and we are subsisting on what? हम किसके ऊपर जीते हैं? अन्न के ऊपर. Everybody can know, है ना? अन्ना भवति भूतानि. Now somebody may question, प्रभु बिना अन्न खाए भी लोग जीते हैं, हवा पे जीते हैं, है ना? But what kind of yogis are there? है ना? Exception. So generally, अन्ना भवति भूतानि. We are made of that anna, right? Anna bhavati bhutani, and how that anna comes? Rain. Parjanyat anna sambhava. Parjanya means rain. Parjanyat anna sambhava. Now, how does the rain come?
Predominating deities of that.
बड़ी बात कर दिया, बट आजकल रेन तो आता ही है ना. Do we do anything that rain comes? Rain का तो हाँ?
Prescribed duties
Is a prescribed duty of whom?
of the all the ashramas in which we belong to.
Oh, you mean to say that there are people who are performing their prescribed duties, because of that Indra is giving the rain?
Yeah.
We want details, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please share more details. Why the rains are coming?
Because of the demigods.
The performing of yajna, Prabhuji, and the yajna of every yuga is different. So yajna of this Kali Yuga is Sankirtan yajna.
Good. Yes. So yajnat bhavarti parjanya. Because of yajna, rains come. Previous verse only, na? Demigod worship. See, what did he say? Devan bhavayata dena te deva bhavayantu. Krishna created demigods, men, and then you please the demigod by yajna, and demigod will send you whatever is needed. So the rains are coming by Indra. So we perform the yajna, and they will do. And that yajna can be different. Like as you mentioned, for different age, there is a different. Like, and in this, there's the best is what? Harinam Sankirtan. Right? And somebody is not performing the Harinam Sankirtan, and somebody performs that Om Pat Swaha, whatever. At least being grateful to the Indra and all, they will provide, na?
Yes.
Rain, isn't it? Now somebody said that in this age nobody is performing, but the devotees are there.
Yeah.
You see, they are chanting. So we can say that at least because devotees are there, something is happening better. Good, rains are happening. You see, it's not just like a random statement. It's a fact. We say that devotees know they went for Harinam and the rain came, and we said yeah. But inside we are thinking, how is that possible? Is it really possible? So we should know that it's Shastra says. Shastra says. You see? Shastra says. So yajnat bhavati parjanya. So rain comes by yajna.
But Prabhuji,
हाँ.
But nowadays rain are so unpredictable. मतलब कभी भी आती है, कभी भी जाती है. And the previous year the rains were till October and December till it was raining. So why that happened?
Yeah, because earlier, no, the rains would come systematically at night only, and that too as much as needed. So in the morning, people can go out and work. There will be not like flooding and all, or no rain at all. Why? Because people earlier, many people were performing the yajna, if not all. In Kali Yuga, it has all decreased. So therefore, rains are unsystematic, flooding, drought, all these are common. It's because of the non-performance of yajna. Correct? Right? So yajna karma samudbhava. And how does the yajna? What is that yajna? Yajna means activities offered to the Lord. Yajna karma samudbhava. Next, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Now, what kind of prescribed duties? Right? That is yajna. Yajna means prescribed duties. Who mentions prescribed duty? What is to be done? Who mentions that? Karma Brahma Udbhavam Vidhi. It comes from the Brahma. Brahma means here what? Vedas.
Vedas.
Right? Which are the prescribed duties? Who says that?
Vedas.
Vedas. Now, what is Vedas come? Vedas come from whom?
Supreme.
Brahma Akshara Samudbhava. Brahma Akshara. Akshara means one who does not fall down. Akshara. Shara. Jiska Shara nahi hota. That is Supreme Lord. Krishna, right? So, Brahma Akshara Samudbhava. So from the Vishnu's breath, Vedas have come.
Yes.
We say, no?
Yes.
So, the prescribed duties are coming from the Vedas. And these are Vedas are nothing but the breath of Vishnu. Right? Tasmat. Therefore, Sarvagatam Brahman. Sarvagatam. All Sarvagatam. Everywhere one who has gone. Super soul is everywhere, na? So, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma, that means Supreme Lord, Paramatma, Sarvagatam Brahma, Yagye, Nityam Yagye Pratishtati, is always there in the Yagya. Is always there in the Yagya. Why? Because the Yagya, from what comes the rain, Yagya, because of what comes the rain is mentioned, it comes from the prescribed duties. And that prescribed duty is mentioned in Vedas. And that Vedas are nothing but coming from what? It's the breath of Supreme Lord. Right? So that Supreme Lord is always there in the Yagya, we can say. Isn't it? Therefore, because that Lord is there in the Yagya, by performing Yagya, one can get to know Lord. Just by performing Yagya, one can get to the know Lord. Why? Because we all are subsisting on food. We get the food because of performing Yagya. That Yagya is mentioned in the Vedas, which is coming from the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord is always there in the Yagya. Therefore, by performing the Yagya, one can get to know the Supreme Lord. So the cycle. Now, what if somebody does not follow the cycle? See, we are supposed to follow the cycle. By that cycle, means perform the Yagya. Why? Because by that Yagya, what will come to know? We'll come to know what?
Sin.
By performing Yagya, what will come to know? Supreme Lord. We'll come to know Supreme Lord, right? That cycle is given. If one does not perform the Yagya, then what will happen? Next verse says that. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati haya agayur indriya aramo mogam partha sajivati. Evam means thus. Pravartitam chakram. Pravartitam. Established by the Vedas. Pravartitam chakram. This cycle which is established by the Vedas. Means established by the Supreme Lord. Na anuvartanti. Anuvarta. Anu means follow. Follow. Anuvartanti. Does not follow. Does not adopt. One who does not adopt. In this life. Iha means one who. What happens to such person? One who does not follow this chakra, this cycle. Aghayu means full of sins. Aghayu means full of sins. Hayu means life. The life full of sins. Indriya aramo, jo indriyo ko aram deta hai, means one who is sense gratified, satisfied in the sense gratification. Mogham sapartha jivati. That person is living life uselessly. Mogham sapartha jivati means he lives uselessly. How? Just giving aram to the indriya and a life full of sin. Means there is no option to not offer anything that we do to the Lord. In another sense, there is no option in not for performing yagya. In another sense, that yagya is nothing but offering to the Supreme Lord, to the Vishnu. Right? So whatever we do, if we do not do it as a yagya, that is for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, or if we do it for only our pleasure, it's nothing but a sin. and one person is living the life uselessly. So outside, if you see any person who is nothing to do with the yajna. When I say yajna, the best yajna is Harinam Sankirtan, pleasing Supreme Lord. But even if somebody is just worshipping the demigod, that's also as per the Gita. Right?
Yes.
He will also get the knowledge. But what knowledge?
The demigods.
Demigod knowledge. Then later on, when he progresses, he will get to know that demigod is also staying in a planet which is temporary. It's made by the Vishnu. Right? That's the higher stages. Right? But at least we appreciate what that person is doing. We do not stop that. Should we stop that?
No.
No. We can introduce them to Krishna consciousness, but we cannot stop that, because if he stops that, then everything will be stopped. So therefore, Krishna in the next verse, he will say that do not disturb such person who are so much attached. Later on he will come. So here he says that one who does not, my dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin, living only for the sense gratification, for the satisfaction of the senses. Such a person lives in vain. But what if a person who is already satisfied or already has realized the Atma, or is relishing or self-realized, साक्षात्कार व्यक्ति है, महापुरुष है, does he need to engage in acting? Does he still needs to engage in acting if he's really self-realized? He has to. Why? Why he should act?
Because he is self-realized.
No. That is a different thing. They are going beyond now. आगे यही बोलने वाले कृष्ण. So set an example, he has to act. But is it necessary for him to act?
No.
Means अगर वो नहीं act करेंगे तो पाप लगेगा, ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
No.
So that's what it is said. Who can refrain from acting? है ना? बोलते ना काम करने की आवश्यकता. Like till now, till 16th. See, we completed 16. We started from Arjuna asking question, what is different? Tell me one thing. Whether to fight or whether to adapt my mind, intelligence into soul. Like that is a Gyan Yoga, leave everything. What is better? Tell me one thing. So Krishna tells in the detail now. Ki dekh bhai, pehle nobody can refrain without working and all, So one who is not purified, he has to work. That point he took. One who is not purified has to work. And then he ended that in 16 by saying that evam pravartitan chakram nanu vartati, one who does not follow the cycle. Which cycle? Wherein it has been created that one should act, perform the yajna. So that cycle, so that ends still here. That means one has to perform your work. And what kind of work? So he introduced yajna. See, at one point he introduced yajna anyatra karma bandhana. You see? That was the point where in 9th verse he said yajna arthat karma anyatra. Not simply acting. Yajna arthat. He has to do. And why? Because in that yajna it leads to what? Krishna. It leads to Krishna. Why? Because that in that yajna, Lord is present. That cycle is given. So that's how that 16 verses, it completes one section. When he says that one has to act. Until one is not purified, one has to act. But now question is, what if one is purified? Then Krishna said, no need. Then it's not needed. Right? So he says that Yastu atmaratir eva syad atmatruptascha manava atmani eva santushta tasya karyam na vidyate. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Tasya means that person, karyam, acting, karya, na vidyate, does not exist. Whom? Yaha, to atmarati, means one who takes pleasure. Rati, jiski rati atma mein hai. One who takes pleasure in the atma means he is realized atma. Right? So one whose rati is in Atma. Yes, to Atma Rati eva syad, and Atma truptascha manava. And he is trupta, he is satisfied in Atma. Why? Because he is not satisfied in eating outside or dancing or watching movie. He does not get santushti in that. So he gets santushti in what? His trupta, satisfaction he gets in what? Atma. Why in Atma? Because Atma has that guna. Which all guna Atma has? Atma has 8 gunas. Which all are they? So here Shastra mentions that the 8 gunas which the Shastra has, according to Upanishad, the Atma has 8 qualities. 1, it is sinless. It is ageless. It is deathless. It is without grief. It is without hunger. It is without thirst. It is blissful. And his desires are instantly fulfilled. So one is, it is blissful. It's blissful. Yeah. So Atma is sinless, ageless. It's deathless, without grief, without hunger, without thirst. It is blissful. And his desires are instantly fulfilled. These are external things, not just telling you. Because he's santushta in Atma. He is satisfied in the Atma. So which of these 8 gunas? Atma is blissful by nature. So that person who is realizing Atma, which has the quality of being blissful, he is blissful, always blissful. So he does not have. So if you see somebody, who is like, बोलते ना महाप्रसाद के लिए चाहता ये करता है या मैं ये करूंगा. So understand that that person is looking happiness outside. When that one person is not satisfied inside, then that person looks for happiness outside. I'm not telling that one should not hanker for Mahaprasad, but with respect, understanding that somebody is like it's a Mahaprasad, that is fine. But somebody like बोलते ना हावड़ा हो जाता है. हावड़ा क्या बोलते उसको? Something that is for sense gratification, right? Even though it is Mahaprasad, it's a medicine, it will work, no doubt. But that kind of means that person is not satisfied, he's like looking for. But if somebody is satisfied in self, Atma. See, when I'm talking about Atma, because these verses talk about it. We as a devotee, when you read the purport of Prabhupada, one has to understand that we are performing Bhakti Yoga. We are not going through the systematic progress from Nishkam Karne. We are performing Bhakti Yoga, wherein the beauty of Bhakti Yoga is, by performing Bhakti Yoga, we get purified. We don't have to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga to purify, and then take the sannyas, and then come to realization of Atma, then Paramatma, and then connect with the devotees, and then get to know the Krishna. We are directly connected with Krishna, and it purifies faster. So when we say that, when we come, we come into Bhakti, we get purified by those activities. And with those activity, we get to test Krishna. एक अनुभव होता है ना कृष्ण का. Sometimes एकदम मजा आ जाता है कृष्ण का अनुभव. So that one who is atmaratirsa means one who is satisfied in Krishna consciousness. How to take this verse? Yastu atmaratir eva sya atmatruptascha manusha means one who is fully satisfied in Krishna conscious activity. Tasya karyam na vidyate. That person has no other work to do outside. Isn't it? No, why he has no work to do outside? Next verse says that because he does not have to achieve anything from working outside. He just performs Krishna conscious activity. Either chant, simply chanting, hearing, because that activity gives that Vyakti a pleasure. He's experiencing Krishna. Right? And if you see in the terms of Atma, that Atma has quality of blissfulness. Right? So one who is self-realized, one who does some Dhyana, Yoga and all, when who's realizing Atma, they are satisfied within that. They are in that Samadhi. But for Krishna conscious person, when they are absorbed in serving for Krishna, understanding we are part and parcel of Krishna, servant of Krishna, and in the order of Guru and Krishna, when they do perform work for Krishna, like Prabhupada was in Samadhi, like everything for Krishna when he does, that person has no work to do. No work means what? Outside kind of thing, like job and for earning money. He has nothing to do with that. That person is satisfied in what? In chanting the names of Krishna and glorifying Krishna, spreading the message of Krishna. That's all. So that's how we have to understand. Right? Why? Because na tasya kritena artho na akritena kaschana. That a self-realized person has no purpose to fulfill in discharge of his prescribed duties. A self-realized person has no duty, has no purpose to fulfill in discharge of his prescribed duties. Nor he has any reason not to perform such duty. Nor he has any need to depend on any other living being. Na cha asya sarva bhuteshu kaschit artha vyapashraya. He does not surrender, or he does not have to take ashray of any other people in this world. Because and by his prescribed duty, he does not want to gain anything. And nor is like he has to do it only. Not doing also will not, So such is the thing mentioned about this. So Prabhupada translates and he says in the purport, a self-realized person is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duties, save and accept activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not inactivity either, as will be explained in the following verses. A Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient in discharge of his obligation. Right? So here about Atma, one who self-realized, because he's getting satisfaction from the Atma, he has nothing to work outside because he doesn't want to gain anything. Nor he does not, and nor he stops, or not he has to not do it. Nor he has any reason to not perform. Right? And nor he has any need to depend on any living entity for some. Is there any example in the past where somebody did like this? So Krishna answers, Karmanevi samsiddhim astita Janak adaya. Janak adi. Janak and others. So Janak Maharaj and others. Now Janak Maharaj can not only mean Janak Maharaj is a king, right? Father of whom? Sita Devi. But this Janaka is a title, just like a prime minister. So there are many Janaks. So even when we say Modi ji, so Modi. So if I say Modi ji, I say so or prime minister. So I'm using interchangeably. So similarly, this Janak Maharaj is interchangeably used for Sita's father, but he had a particular name which I don't remember, right? But in that, Janaka is the title actually, in that lineage or dynasty, Janak, they are all called Janak. Right? So here one of the king, Janak, not necessarily the Sita's father. So that Janak and others are the example. So karmanevahi samsiddhim astita means they achieved. Who? Janak Adya, Janak and other kings. Now, loka sangraham eva api sampashyan kartum arasi. So, loka sangraham for the people in general. Sangraha, grahan karna, collect. और ग्रह करके रखना उसको कंट्रोल. So for लोक कल्याण हेतु मीन्स ग्रहण मीन्स को कंट्रोल करना मीन्स टू बेनिफिट टू लोगों के भलाई के लिए, राइट? सो लोक संग्रह for teaching the people in general, for benefiting the people, to teach the people, to set example, right? So loka sangraha eva api sampashyan, considering kartum arasi, you deserve. So people in such kings such as Janaka attain perfection solely by performance of the prescribed duty. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Now, the question is for Arjuna. Krishna is suggesting that you should perform the work. Means you should not be like kind of one who is purified, one who is realizing Atma, or one who is fully Krishna conscious. He has nothing to perform prescribed duties. So now Arjuna is in which category? Is he self-realized? Is Krishna conscious, right? So does he need to perform prescribed duties? No. But what is Krishna suggesting then? That means he has no need to perform this prescribed duty of fighting. But Krishna is saying no. For you, कर्मणि संसिस्तिम अस्तित जनकाद्य लोक संग्राम एवापि संपश्यम कर्तुम अर्हसि. You should fight. For that purpose, you should not be like, because you are self-realized, actually, for you there is no need. But still you perform. For the sake of what? Why? Why should I fight? Because you are a leader. And whatever leader does, common people. So verse 21 says, Yadyadacharati shreshtas tattadeva itarajanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standard he sets by example, exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Right? Please read the purport. Now, what to speak of the leader Arjuna? Even considering me, Krishna is still even considering me. I also perform prescribed duties. Even I am God. There's no, I am free, Swarat. But still, I also perform. And then in the next verse is why. But in this verse he said, even I. See, name parthasti kartavyam.
मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम्
त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन
त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन
नानवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यम्
नानवाप्तम्
वर्त एव च कर्मणि
वर्त एव च कर्मणि
न मे पार्थ अस्ति कर्तव्यम् न मे for me there is no prescribed duties for me, O son of Pritha. There is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems. Why no prescribed? Because for me work kya, if I think only things happen. My energies just by thinking the work happen. What is the to do? So name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana kanchana. In all these three planetary systems, there is nothing work prescribed for me. Within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in the want of anything. Na avaptam, na vaptam avaptyam. Nor I am in the want of anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything. And yet, I am engaged in prescribed duties. See how beautifully Krishna is saying. Yet I am also. Why? Why you are engaged in prescribed duties? यदि 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 हि अहम न वर्तेयम जातु कर्मणि अतन्द्रितः मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः यदि ही अहम न वर्तेयम, इफ आई एम नॉट, ऐसा वर्तन नहीं करूंगा, परफॉर्मिंग प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटीज, और अपने मन से कुछ भी आया करूंगा, तो व्हाट विल हैपन? जातु कर्मणि अतीन्द्रियः मम वर्तमान वर्तन्ते, अनुवर्तन्ते मीन्स फॉलो, मम वर्तन अनुवर्तन्ते, दे विल फॉलो मी, मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वथा, ऑल द लिविंग बीइंग्स विल फॉलो माई, मेरी नकल करेंगे. इफ आई फेल टू एंगेज इन केयरफुली परफॉर्मिंग प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटीज, certainly all men would follow my path. And then what will be the result? If they follow my such frivolous, whimsical, manmoji act, what will happen? Krishna says, Utsideyur ime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha kartasyam upahanyam ima praja. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all this world would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Why the peace of all living beings is destroyed? Because they are acting on their own, whimsically, and whimsically means whatever comes to the mind. Means what will come to the mind is sense gratification. And we all know sense gratification leads to frustration. Therefore, performing yajna. Right? So it's very simple, you see. Okay, so we'll stop here. It's 5:30. So we'll stop here. So these verses are now, because we know the basic principles, so these verses are now like very simple. We just read it. So please read the purport. I'm not taken it. I'm just taking the word and like that's what the shloka is telling. Please read the purport. If any confusion, we can discuss. Otherwise, we'll take the verses and we'll complete the chapter next week, right? And then we'll start also the fourth chapter. Hopefully. Okay. Jai Shri. Bhagavad Gita ki. Okay, which day would be preferable for you to take the exam for first two chapters? 1 hour you have to get. I'll give you the question paper.
Prabhuji, we have to come and write the paper there.
No, not needed. You can write at home, or if somebody can come here and spend time, you can write here, or you write at home and send it. You can take a printout, or you can send me by soft copy.
Next Sunday, Bidari Yatra.
Huh?
Bidari Yatra.
Huh?
1 day's Bidari Yatra Sunday.
Bigger.
That's
Huh?
Narsimha temple.
Who is going? Other your person, huh? Okay, that's.
Prabhuji, on Sunday or on a weekday?
Yeah, you all tell Sunday is okay. Just give me 1 hour. I'll give the question paper, and in 1 hour time you send. So which 1 hour will be suitable for you all?
Sunday only, Prabhuji.
Sunday only, Prabhuji, because other days
So
some
6 to
people
7.
may be working.
No, 4 to 5. No, so 5:30 to 6:30.
After
Is
the
that
class.
okay?
No,
After
no,
the class.
Prabhuji. 5:30 to 6:30, no. Between 3 to 5 is okay.
No, there will be class.
No, you take the exam first and then class. Because if you take the class first and then exam, it's like difficult.
Okay. So 2 to 3 exam and then 3 to 5 class. How is that?
Yeah, that is fine.
For me, it's okay. I don't know about others.
Okay. Okay. So I think everybody's saying yes.
I will not be there.
Next Sunday only, Prabhuji. The coming
Yes,
Sunday.
Prabhuji.
Yes. Means you tell me tomorrow, I'll give tomorrow. If you tell me Sunday, then Sunday.
We need time to prepare.
Okay. So next Sunday, 2 to 3, 1 hour test.
How
Question
many
bank,
marks,
Prabhuji?
Prabhuji?
Huh?
Question bank, matlab, which type of questions you will be giving?
I have not thought about it.
But will you give us a
Simple
question
question.
bank in advance, Prabhuji?
See, I will tell you. Okay, tell the cycle of this Yagya cycle. So you all know,
That is,
right?
It
that is
would be
chapter 3.
Huh?
Prabhuji, it would be
Huh?
MCQ type, or we have to write everything, describe.
Even that I have not thought.
Okay.
Should I give the MCQ question or right? Because if I give you the short answer questions, long answer question, I'll have to check. And if I give
Prabhuji, then
MCQ,
1 hour will not be enough then. If you want us to write the long
yeah,
answers,
yeah.
then 1
So,
hour.
so roughly, I'm just telling 1 hour. Means I will not take more than 1 hour because this is a unit test. It's not the main exam. So maybe half an hour if MCQs. And if it is like a short answer questions, long answer question, then maybe 1 hour. Otherwise, 15-20 minutes में हो जाएगा MCQs रहा तो. I'm just
How
thinking.
many
I'm just
questions?
thinking of questions. I'll let me come up with the questions, and then by Sunday I think I'll send you. Right? But then you can just, if you have gone through the sessions now, then you'll be easily get to know. You just have to pick up the proper shloka. Like if I tell the cycle of this yagya cycle, then you immediately know which verse is there. You can refer and you can write. Right? Is it simple, right?
Is open book test, Prabhuji, or closed book?
It means I cannot see we are at home or then you will book will be there. So let me ask the question wherein even if you take the book, you have to find out where it is, right? So those who know, have heard, will find out where exactly what I'm asking. So I also make such questions which are like, which I have spoken about, explained. Or I'll ask some questions, is the some practical question, like we discussed, maybe some case study. Like today we discussed about, taking the bribe and all. So unless you have heard the class, it will be difficult to answer. But if you have heard the class, understood, then it will be very easy to answer. Like that. And it won't be tough. Means I'm not here to fail somebody, because if somebody gets failed means I have not explained properly. But if you have not heard it only the class and just like thinking, asking Chat GPT, what is the answer, then it will be difficult, na? So the criteria is you hear the class, understand what is being spoken. It's very simple. You see, Krishna explains, it says very simple things. So it won't be tough. So don't worry about exam. But at least go through it. Point is, go through it. Read. Understand it. Point is, we have to understand the things.
Prabhuji, if we don't remember everything what we have heard in the class, but if we go through the purpose properly, then it would be easy for us.
Yeah. Even that is okay. If you have heard the class and if you read the purpose, more than enough. What else? If you have heard the class and understood, right? That is the main thing. If you have heard the class and understood, then it will be enough. And purpose, very good. Okay? All the best. See you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji. You want to say something?
next week, yeah, Prabhuji, next week I am not here in Mumbai. I am traveling. So,
Okay.
what will be the next option? I can give it following Sunday.
Oh, I will tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I think he left everyone, so we are concluding the meeting. Thank you. Hare Krishna.